First things first, this is the data set we will be using. And our data set is an Excel spreadsheet that consists of 3 tables. The first table is the orders table with about 21 columns. The second table is the returns table. And the third table is the people table. So then again, this is what we are looking to achieve, which is this. This is the dashboard we're looking to achieve. This dashboard right here. This is what we are looking to achieve. So the first thing we're going to do is to launch our Power BI desktop, and it is right here to launch our Power BI desktop. So it's sort of taking a while to open up. When we've launched our Power BI desktop, we will see the Get Data button that would help us to bring our documents into the Power BI environment. And the document we're working with is the Excel workbook. So connect. When you connect, then we are working with the Superstore data sets. Just to be sure, go straight to the location on your laptop, wherever it is you have stored your documents, and pick it from your laptop. So mine is the Superstore data set, and if you're using the same data set, yours will also be the Superstore data set. So open that. So while it's loading, we can confirm that the 3 tables are here: the orders table, the people's table, and the returns table. So Power BI is going to load a preview of this. It's going to load a preview. Once we click on any of this, if you click on the orders table, it shows you a preview of the orders table. So you can just verify that the contents are correct. You click on the people table, it shows you a preview of the people table. You click on the returns table, it also shows you a preview of the returns table. So we're going to click on the 3 tables because we're going to use the 3, and then we're going to click on transform data. So when you click on transform data, your document opens up in Power Query, and this is where the transformation begins. So the first transformation we are going to do is on the orders table. Because the row ID is the primary key for the orders table, we do not want it to be in the numeric value. We want it to be in text so that Power BI does not automatically calculate it, because Power BI is in the habit of calculating columns that have numeric value. So we change this to text. And also our replace current, yes. Then also for the postcode, the postal code, sorry, we'll change this also to, because this is a US address. That's why it has this the postcodes in numeric values. So we change this to text as well. Yes, replace current. And this is one of the transformations we're going to carry out here. So the second thing we're going to do is we're going to begin to create our tables. We're going to create is the sales table. Let's start by creating the sales table. So the first thing you do is you duplicate this, and we are going to call this sales table. Then for the sales table, we are going to pick the columns that we want and delete every other column. So for the sales table, you have your row ID column already selected, which is the primary key for the sales table. And we pick on the order ID. Order ID, we pick on the order date. We come down, we pick the ship mode, customer ID, region. We go straight down to the region table. Region, and we pick sales, quantity, discounts, and profits. Profits, I think we're still missing one, and that one will be the product ID column. Yes, the product ID column, which is here. and then remove other columns. So now that we've removed the other columns, our sales table is it's ready. We've removed the other columns. So the next one will be the orders table. Also duplicate others and change the name here from orders to orders table. Orders table, and that will be the columns that we will be using for the orders table are order ID, order date, ship date, and customer ID. So order ID, select that, order date, ship date, and customer ID. So we delete every other column, remove all other columns. And with that, the order ID column is the primary key column for the orders table. So we are just going to make it, we are going to make it a unique, a column with unique values rather. So right click on the order ID column and remove duplicates. And that's done for the orders table. The next table we are going to create, duplicate this. The next table we're going to create will be the products table. With the products table, we are going to rename this to product, rename products table, products table. And for the products table, we are going to pick 4 columns, and that will be product ID, and the next one will be product name, category, product ID, category, subcategory, and product name. So hold your control key with key down to select the rest. Then remove every other column. And with that being done, make the product ID column a column filled with unique values because it's the primary key for the products table. So remove duplicates and move the product name column to the second position. Okay. So next we duplicate the orders table again, duplicate that. And after duplicating that, the next table we're going to create is the customer table. That's the next table we're going to create. Customer table. And with that, after renaming that to the customer table, then we are going to pick the columns that we need. And that will start with customer ID, which is down here. So customer ID, after customer ID, we'll pick the customer name, the segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, then remove other columns. And the next thing to do will be to make the customer ID column unique. Remove duplicates. Okay, so we've created the sales table, the orders table, the products table, and the customer table. The last table we are going to create using the duplicate table tab will be our shipping table. So duplicate this once again and name this shipping and come to ship mode. The column we need here is the ship mode column. Just click on ship mode and right click on ship mode rather, remove other columns. Then make this column unique because it is the primary key for this table. And that will be remove duplicates. So now we have our sales table, we have our orders table, we have our products table, our customer table, and our shipping. All 5 tables created from one table. That is the orders table. And before we move away from this session, the next thing to do will be to go to the people's table. And because pressing, if you look at row 1 carries the header values for the people table. And if you come to the spreadsheet in Excel, we can see that person and region, which are the row headers for the table. So we're going to come back to Power BI, And what we're going to do is on the Home tab, we'll move down until we'll find Use First Row as headers. Click down on the arrow and just click on Use First Row as headers, and it automatically changes it. And we're going to do the same thing for the returns table. So, and use first row as headers as well, because you have the header, the column headers on the first row. So use first row as headers as well. And that's it. So we are ready to load our tables into the Power BI editor model. But before we load the tables, what we're going to do is we don't want to load this orders master sheet because we already have an orders table. So we're just going to right click on it and untick enable load. So once you untick enable load, it doesn't allow the Power Query editor to load the table into the Power BI model. So come down here to the tab where you have file and click on close and apply. So we wait while Power BI is applying the changes to our model. So yeah, so it's loaded the tables. The next thing to do will be to come to the next thing to do will be to come to the Power BI model view. To check the tables that we've loaded and to see the relationships that Power BI has fostered between the tables. Okay, so we are going to take off some relationships because the relationship we want to achieve is the Star Schema relationship. So our returns is here, and this is here. So we're just going to remove the relationship between the returns table and the orders table. Delete that because we want a Star Schema relationship. Connect the returns table to the sales table using the order ID column, and then move this now up orders table. And once again, we are going to delete the relationship between the people's table and the customer table. Delete, because we want to achieve a Star Schema. And then we would delete the relationship between the orders table and the customers table. And also delete the relationship between the customer table and okay, we will make the relationship between the customer table and the sales table active. And the way we're going to do that is to right click and open properties. When we open properties, we have both tables here, the sales table here and the customer table here. And both of them are joined using the customer ID. So you just click on make this relationship active and you click on OK. So with this, you have a Star Schema. You just need to make sure that all your tables are connected to the fact table, which is the sales table. No two dimension tables should be connected to one another. So we've achieved this. The next thing we're going to do is to create our dates, dates table. What we're going to do now is to create our dates table. And with that, we will do that in the data view. And the date table helps us to carry out time intelligence functions. So the way to create a date table is to come here and just to click on new table. And when you click on new table, the next thing to do will be, we're going to name our date table. And the function we're going to use is CalendarAuto, so that it will go into our model to pick all the dates, the date range from our model, and give us complete dates in between. So this is the formula for CalendarAuto, the formula we're going to use to create our date table, the CalendarAuto DAX formula. Click on that, and then it gives you a date column, a table with a date column ranging from the beginning of your model, the date that begins your model, and the date that ends your model. So this is it. We have this here. Sort ascending. 2014 is data. The data in our model begins from 2014. So let's sort descending to see where the data in our model ends. The data in our model ends 2018, which can be seen here. So we just clear sort. We just wanted to be sure. We clear the sort. So the next thing to do will be to create every other column in the in our dates table that we'll be using for our calculations, that we'll be using to calculate our measures rather. So the new column, next is new column, and then we want the year, and we'll be using, for this, we'll be using the format DAX, the DAX expression called format. And the formula is this, dates table date, and it goes with a comma because it's a year. This is it for wise. And Power BI is intelligent enough to know that you just need the year. So it gives you what you've asked for. The next column to be created will be the quarter column. Quarter column. And then once again, we use our format, dates table, dates, comma, and there we go, quarter. And then it gives us the quarter. So we can just copy this so that we can use it. Because we'll just keep editing the end figures. The next one we're going to create will be the month, or we can start with the month number, and that would be this. Since it's the month number, we are just going to use two hems, and that should give us the month number. The next column we are going to create is the month, and we have that. This time we're going to use three M's, and there we go. And the next thing we're going to create is the month year. Before the month year code, let's do the day of the week, so that I can give us the day of the week. And that would be 3Ds to give us the day of the week in short form, basically. And then the next thing we're going to do, new column, and we ask it to give us the month year code, month year code, and that would be, because it's month year code, it's going to be figures. So, and this should do it. Then the next one will be month year, but this time not in figures. So it'll be three M's, and that, so it should give us the month year code. And with this, our date table is ready, and it has also been loaded to the model. So before we move away from this phase, we're going to click on the dates column, and we're going to format it to short dates. So after formatting this to short dates, then we can now mark this table as our date table. And we can do that from the table tools. You click on table tools, click on this drop down, mark as date table, and then select column, date column, and make sure that it reads validated successfully, and then you click on OK. So the next thing we're going to do is come to our model view here. So model view here, and you can see that our date table is here. So what we'll do is we just move the date, and we want to connect the date table to the sales table. And we are going to connect the date table to the sales table using the date column. So you can just drag the date column, drag it to order it. And you do that by just holding down your highlighting the date column, holding down your control key and just dragging it to the other date column in sales table. So the date column of the date table will connect to the other date column in sales table. So with all of this, our model is set for time intelligence functions. So the next thing we're going to do here is to create our measures table. To create a measures table, we have to come to our report view here, and we are creating the measures table just so that we can have dynamic calculations and use it the way we please in a flexible manner on our in our dashboards, on our dashboards rather. So to create the measures table, what we're going to do is we come to the home tab here. On the home ribbon, this is called the ribbon. On the home ribbon, we just click on enter data. And then it gives us this. This is just the way to create a table without writing DAX. So what we do here is we just change the table at the bottom to measures and just click on load. So that's it. You have this is it here. You have a table called measures too. So we want to create we want to create 6 measures: total sales, total profits, total orders, total customers, average discount, and percentage profit. So what we are going to do is you click on the ellipsis, that's the 3 dots, and you just click on new measure. The first thing we're going to do is the total sales. So total sales equals to the DAX we are going to use for this is sum. So we're just going to use sum, and the column, we're going to go straight down to the sales table column and pick sales. So just click on that and close the brackets, and that's it. Total sales is created. So once we've created a column here, a measure here rather, we can come to this column 1, click on column 1 and delete it from model. It's going to ask you, are you sure you want to delete column 1? Just click on yes. Immediately you delete column 1, what you notice is that the measures table will move to the top of the tables. So the next measure we are going to create is the total profits measure. Total profits. And total profits is also going to be sum. Move down to the sales table column and pick sales table profits. And that would be that's done. Then the next measure we are going to create, we've created 2 measures already. So the third measure we're going to be creating will be the total orders column, total orders. And with total orders, it's also going to be sum. And we'll come down to sales table, and it's going to be total orders. Okay, our total orders will not be sum, sorry. Our total orders is going to be, yes, our total orders will be distinct count. It's not sum, because our orders column is in text. Is in text format. So it's going to be distinct count, sorry. Our orders column. So for the total orders column, The next measure we're going to create is total orders, and we will be using distinct count. Okay, so the next measure we will be creating is the total orders column, the total orders measure. Okay, so the next measure we will be creating is total orders. So click on new measure. Because total orders column is in text format, it will be distinct counts. And that will be on our sales table, and it will be order ID. Now, the next measure we'll be creating will be total customers. Total customers. And it is also going to be distinct count. And we would go down to our customers table, and it will be sales table customer ID. Click on tick. The next measure will be average discount after total customers. Average discounts. And that will be average. We'll go down to our sales table column and click on discount. And that will be yes. Then so the next measure we'll be creating is our percentage profits. So percentage profits, and with that, we are going to use the divide DAX expression. And the values the values accepted by this expression are a numerator and a denominator. The numerator will be total profit, and the denominator will be total sales, just like your mathematical expression. And it will be formatted as a percentage. But for now, we'll just uh, do the calculation, and we'll do the formatting all at once for all the columns. So this is done. And the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to pull a multi-row card into our dashboard, and we are going to move all of these measures there just to see what we've done right and what needs to be corrected, how we need to format it. Oh no, this is not going to be here. Total profits. Total orders, total customers, average discount, and percentage profit. So what we're going to do is with total sales, let's format total sales. You just click on the total sales and we come here. It should appear in dollars. So we format it as dollars. And then we change this to 0. You can do that on your keyboard. Enter that. And we're going to format total profit too, because it's a percent. Sorry, it's not a percentage. We'll format total profit as well, because it's also in dollars. So put it in dollars and change this to 0 using your keyboard. And that's sorted. Total orders is fine. Total customers is fine. Average discount, we have to format average discount. Is supposed to be in percentage. So we come here and format it, make it into a percentage, and we can reduce this to 1. Yes. And for profits, we are going to format our profit, total profit as well. And we would make it percentage. Oh, sorry, that's total profits, not we're going to format our percentage profit measure, and we're going to make it a percentage. So the percent can appear. We're going to format it as one decimal place. So with this, we've sorted out all of our measures. All the values have been checked and the right formattings have been put in place. The right formattings have been put in place. So the next thing we need to do now is to create our dashboard. So see you on the second part of this.